opinions of leprosy, experiment, and conclusion. So what is leprosy? Leprosy is a disease that is caused by the Villus bacterium, which is also known as Mycobacterium leprae. It affects almost all parts of the body and can cause physical problems for the host of the disease. So for background history, Hansen's disease was given as an alternative name in 1873, and it was named after G.A. Hansen, and he was alive from 1841 to 1912. He was a Norwegian physician, remembered for his identification of the bacterium Mycobacterium leprae in 1873 as an agent of leprosy. And this is a picture of G.A. Hansen. So for history, leprosy was thought to only be in biblical times, and in the Bible, the word leprosy was used 55 times in the Old Testament and 13 times in the New Testament, and some Bible verses say that leprosy is a curse of God. So there are two different types of leprosy, mild and severe, and the mild version is tuberculous leprosy, and it affects people with good T cells, and T cells are a small lymphocyte developed in the thymus, and it orchestrates the immune system's response to infected cells. And what I mean by good T cells is that you have a good immune system, and it usually only results in skin discoloration. In a severe case of leprosy is leprechaunism leprosy, and that affects people with bad T cells or a bad immune system. And they get the harsher conditions, which includes skin lesions, plaques, thickened dermis, numbness or lack of sensation in hands, arms, feet, and legs, congestion of the nose and nosebleeds. And this is a picture of someone with the skin lesions that for leprosy. And what affects what type you get it, how strong it affects. It depends on how strong your immune system is and how your body reacts to the bacteria after it enters the body. So, as I said before, people with a bad immune system get harsher conditions, while people with a good immune system only get skin discoloration. And leprosy can cause disfigurement in the hands, feet, arms, legs, face, and causes muscle weakness and sensory loss. So as I said before, leprosy is caused by Villus bacterium, which is also known as Mycobacterium leprae, and after it enters the body, after the body is infected with the bacterium, it begins to affect the peripheral nerves, which affects other parts of the body. Also for diagnosis, it's based on clinical signs and symptoms. Some will only need to have one or more of the symptoms to be diagnosed with leprosy. And one is a whitish, hypopigmented, or reddish patches on the skin called lesions with a loss of feeling. And for statistics, there are currently 720,000 new cases of leprosy reported each year, and about 2 million people have leprosy-related disabilities. Children are more likely to be diagnosed with leprosy than adults. And it's children because they're more likely to get leprosy because of their less developed immune system than adults. And it's mostly found in South America, U.S. islands, and other tropical places. Okay. The World Health Organization classifies leprosy as a number of skin lesions. Single lesion leprosy is when you only have one skin lesion, and it can appear dry or scaly, and dry or smooth, and it usually appears leprae negative when tested. And there's polycystic leprosy, and that's when you have 2 to 5 skin lesions. That can appear dry, scaly, or smooth, and sometimes comes out leprae negative and affects some peripheral nerves. And the last is multivaccillary leprosy, and that is when you have more than 5 skin lesions, and always comes up leprae positive. And for treatment, some treatments by the National Leprosy Control Program have drugs given to patients in combinations of 2 or more, depending on which case you have. The first is rifampicin. It kills certain types of bacteria. The second is clofazimine, and it's used to treat flare-ups of leprosy. Then you have dapsone, which is used to control symptoms of leprosy. Then ofloxacin, and that's used to kill bacteria that causes infections. And then minocycline, which is used to treat or prevent bacteria that cause infections. And one example is rifampicin, ofloxacin, and minocycline are given to post-bacillary leprosy patients. And treatment continued. A hand or foot drop can be restored with surgery or massage physiotherapy. And surgery can help restore eyelid use to the person if a person has lost their ability to open or close their eyelids due to the symptoms of leprosy. And this is just a chart of what I said before. It's just about the single lesions and 2 to 5 lesions and more than 5 lesions, and about the smear negative and smear positive for endocrine when they test it for skin lesions. And for untreated people, they can have their limbs amputated, and patients with leprosy should always be treated because the drugs given to them are free. So, and in 2000, there was 1,069 untreated leprosy patients, compared to 2012 when there was 377 untreated patients. As you can see, over 12 years, the numbers of untreated people have gone down. So, opinions of leprosy. In Hawaii in the 19th century, leprosy was called the sickness as a crime, and it decreased the native population by 60% in 44 years. And there was a time when leprosy camps existed and people were put in camps away from others so others could become infected. So what researchers believe about leprosy? Researchers believe that genetic differences in those exposed to the bacteria determine how harshly they get the disease and the number of lesions. And researchers are now doubting that statement because M. leprae, Mycobacterium leprae, is usually not found on the surface of the skin. And they now think that people are becoming infected by inhaling the bacteria because the bacteria is discharged as droplets, so by sneezing or coughing. So in my experiment, they had 87 subjects. 42 did not meet the criteria, and 34 were male, and 11 were female, and the average age of the subjects was 36. And in the experiment, saliva was used to see if a decrease in thermal sensitivity was caused by the early symptoms of leprosy. In the experiment, the study found that patients with leprosy were significantly more likely to have a changed thermal sensitivity. And this proved that leprosy does have a big impact on people, from sensory loss to loss of limbs to disfigurement to a decrease in thermal sensitivity, viewed as an early symptom. So for future research, 2 drugs, minocycline and clarithromycin, have shown promising anti-leprosy activity in experimental animals and short-term clinical trials. They think people who create the medicine for leprosy are trying to do better, to create better drugs, but need to do better research to do so. And in conclusion, leprosy is a harmful disease that will not usually lead to death, but the symptoms of what comes with leprosy can lead to death if left untreated. And these are my references and my acknowledgments to Dr. Williams, Dr. Ed, as well, my mom, Dr. Gabrielle Alston, my dad, Dennis Alston, Mr. Robinson, and all my classmates. And now I'll take questions, comments, and constructive criticism.
Do those treatments just treat symptoms of the disease, or do they actually cure the disease?
They just treat the symptoms.
Do you know why it's common in tropical areas?
I did not go there in my research, but I would like to know.
What is the hand and foot job?
A hand and foot job is like loss of like feeling or basically just loss of feeling or loss of use. Yes.
So you said that is there a cure for leprosy?
No, the medicines just help the symptoms of it.
Okay, so do you know any research going on that has like any breakthrough research on on leprosy for a cure, or are they still researching it?
They're still researching it, but I didn't get to anything that said that they were close to it now. But they're still researching to figure out treatment to fully get rid of